no such thing as work-life balance. None!
But your father was a policeman.
My dad was a high-profile policeman. Hard. Tough guy. And
what did you learn from him?
Well, I learned that discipline, focus, honesty.
The basic rules.
Yep.
So there were no dreams when you were young. Mm-mm. So what did you do after school?
Got in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Like we all do?
Yeah, got in trouble.
How did you get out?
Did awful things. Got in fights. Beat up people. Hurt people. I was very good at that.
Yeah.
In that sense, I was a high performer. I could really kick the shit out of people pretty well.
You were a fighter.
Yeah, correct.
So how did you end up in Wall Street?
By the grace of God, I lived, went off to the military, entered a private, came out 4 years later, an officer, and I was getting a big award in the military. And there was a 2-star general that was pinning something on my chest, and he said, you know, if you were in the real world, Danny, that's what they used to call me, I was a lieutenant, you could probably get rich. And a light bulb went off over my head. I had never thought of that before. I didn't know how much $1 million was, except for about that same time frame. One of the other young officers inherited $1.4 million, and he was buying all the officers' drinks in the officers' club. And I said, well, why is John buying us all drinks? He says, he just inherited $1 million. And I said, write it down for me. I'm 22 years old. And he put it with the zeros. I go, I didn't know how many zeros $1 million had. And then the general said that if you went out in the real world, Dan, you could probably make a lot of money. I then, within a week, I took action. I reversed my paperwork. I just put in paperwork to be a permanent military forever. And I reversed it to get out. And I got out 5-6 months later. I came back, went back to school where I had to get special permission because I had flunked out 3 times out of university. And then I graduated ultimately with honors. And I wanted to go where the action was. And the action in those days, and this was in 1972, was on Wall Street. So I went to work for a Wall Street firm, and I was really good at it. 1, I was a good salesman. 2, I had learned to be articulate, and I had already self-confidence and self-esteem. And so those are a great combination for an investment banker in the early 70s.
What is self-esteem?
Self-esteem is what most of your parents didn't give you. It's a form of self-confidence. It's a form of self-awareness. But the most important thing, in my judgment, that we are put on the earth is to procreate. So Homo sapien continues, right? Well, it's the least informed thing that our parents know anything about.